What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Don Jaye. I am joined today with a special guest, Kaylee. All right. You are very familiar with Red Pill. You understand Red Pill now. You are a veteran in the game.
Expert.
So we're gonna watch another one of his videos. I know the first video you watched, you wasn't too keen on his stuff.
Yeah.
But we're gonna, watch another one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Excited.
This video is women measure their lives by their relationship. What are your thoughts already?
Okay, so if this video is what I think it is, I completely agree with it because I measure like the time periods in my life by which guy I was dating at that time. It just helps me keep things in order because I remember the progression of guys better than the progression of life events. But I also have a little sneaky feeling that this is not going that direction.
We'll see. Again, I like this guy because he's very logical. I love being logical, so let's see what he has to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Today's video by reading a quote from the Jenna Jameson biography. Men tend to be power-driven. They measure their lives by their accomplishments. Women are more relationship-driven. They tend to define the episodes of their lives by the men that they are with. I'm going to read that again.
Oh, okay. I see you.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
I completely agree. I really do. Yeah, that's very true. Unfortunately, I mean, it's not.
Okay.
Just how it is.
Just so it really sinks in. Men tend to be power-driven. They measure their lives by their accomplishments. Women are more relationship-driven. They define the episodes of their lives by the men that they're with. I'm going to talk about this book more later on, but first, what does it actually mean to say that men measure their lives by their accomplishments? It has to do with how men tell their own story and how they think about the trajectory of their own lives. If you were to ask some old guy in retirement to tell you about his life, he might say, well, first I was an athlete, then I got an injury, then I went back to school, I worked at this company, then I started my own business, etc., etc. The story is about him. It's about his own personal hero's journey as he continues to level up and make more and more accomplishments. If you ask him about his relationships, he can probably tell you about the girls that he dated, but it's not going to be his primary way of describing his life. He doesn't define himself or measure his life by the relationships with women that he had. His own purpose, his own journey always came first, and women existed more in the periphery. Now, to most men, this makes complete sense that they measure their lives by their accomplishments. If you want to know about me, then you want to know where I've been and what I've been doing. But that's actually a very male-centric way of viewing things. And I don't mean that in a negative way, not at all. I'm just saying that's how men view things, but that's not typical. That's not how women tend to do it. It's not a problem. As a man, that's how you should be measuring your life. But as Jenna Jameson says in her biography, women define their lives more by the relationships that they have. So if you ask a woman about her life, her answer is more likely to be like, I dated John in high school, in college I met Greg, that didn't last, I had a few good months with Steve, but then he moved away, and then finally I met Tony. It's probably not going to be...
I see you shaking your head. Go ahead.
Yes, because when I meet people and they ask for my life story, I'm like, yeah, first it was Tim, and then Steven, and then Jonathan.
I didn't agree with that.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that part.
Like, am I very proud of my dating resume, and do I bring it up all the time, and do I enjoy talking about it, and do I talk about the men that I've dated a lot? Absolutely. So I agree with it to the sense, but also fuck off. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I like watching.
That's formal, and it's going to be mixed in with her professional accomplishments, where she worked, what degree she got, etc., etc. But the larger point that as a general trend, when women segment their life into small little sections, it tends to be that the most dominant force or theme of each period of their life has to do with the man that they were dating at that time. Now, obviously, there are exceptions. There are high-powered career women who think very much like men, and there are soft, feminine orbiter men who seem to live through their relationships. But these are the exceptions, they're not the rule. And in a general sense, it's true to say that men measure their lives by their accomplishments and women more by their relationships. Now, I want to talk about the significance of women defining their lives in this way. And I want to explain why it's important.
What? You're getting very agity over there.
No,
speak it true. I want 100% honesty on this thing right now.
For once in my life, I would actually not like to speak yet on this.
Okay.
Okay, because I don't know where this guy's going. But also, I just don't like him. So we're going to try to keep that down.
But men understand this so that they can truly empathize with how women experience a relationship and what they're looking for in commitment. But first, let's quickly talk about why it's important as a man to be measuring your life primarily through your accomplishments, and how much of a disaster it is if you're thinking like a woman and thinking about your relationships first. Now, biologically speaking, women have less freedom and less autonomy than men do. It's just a biological fact. She's going to have 9 months of pregnancy followed by many years of raising children, and if she has multiple children, that's decades potentially of her biologically being primarily responsible for somebody else, not being able to follow her own instincts, her own independence, her own whims and desires. So with that in mind, when evolution was positively selecting for traits to give to men and women to encourage their survival, it made no sense to promote inside women a desire for independence and accomplishments. That's not an absolute, not at all. Everybody needs some desire for achievement, some, will to independence, just in order to be happy and healthy. But the fact is that those desires
This man is so sadly mistaken. I don't think...
Talk to him. Okay.
I don't know if he's a mother or not.
He's a what?
If he's a mother, if he has any children, if he gave birth to any out of his fucking uterus. I don't think that's where babies come from. Anyways. I know some women, some 50-year-old women who have children who and they're their children are accomplished or whatever. They're good kids. They didn't accomplish anything and they did exactly what this guy's talking about, and they are suffering more than you could ever fucking imagine right now.
Meaning suffering as
without accomplishments. I moved from my parents' house to my husband's house. I had his children. I raised his children. Our children are graduating from college. They're doing their own thing. What did I accomplish in this life other than what I'm supposed to do?
Question. So this goes back to, like he said the first video, which he said the roles of feminine and masculine. I think in 2020, they downplay being a mother.
I agree with that.
They literally, oh, you only a mother? That's all you do? That's why they might be depressed and be like, damn, I wish I wanted, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Right.
But at the same time, I do see and I do understand that women overall want to do certain accomplishments just well as men
themselves.
do. Yes, as well. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. I completely agree with you saying. It is majority society. But regardless if it's society or if it's that person or if it's just true, feelings are still feelings. These are women who are coming to the end of their life feeling like they haven't accomplished anything when they've actually done one of the most amazing things that humans can do, which is
raise a fucking kid.
No, created life. Literally created fucking life in her body. That's fucking unreal, and we don't give enough respect to just that.
But that's my point. I don't think you need to add on with just being a mother. If you was a dope ass mom, that's all you needed to be was a fucking dope ass mom. You don't have to have had a hit song or fucking created a business and made $100,000 or $1 million.
But I'm just saying what this guy is saying, regardless of whether it's society or them.
Got you.
I think he's
I got you.
ill-informed, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's not a mom. Maybe he's not, I don't know, maybe he's not a woman at all. Who knows?
No, I get, so basically what you're saying is that he's lacking the empathy of what these women are actually feeling, no matter how they feeling.
No matter how hard this man or any man researches women and what they go through, there's still going to be a level that you can't speak on and you couldn't understand. And I just feel like this guy, I don't know, why does he think he knows so much about women? I'm so sorry, I want to fight this guy, I'm not gonna lie.
Shut up. Alright, let's move on.
Often run in contradiction to her other deeply held instincts, which is to stay put and to take responsibility for others, to nurture children, etc. Independence and ambition run counter to the already well-established instincts that make a woman a good mother, like nurturing and patience. Evolution isn't dumb, and where possible, it doesn't want to set up organisms to have competing, contradictory instincts. But leadership, independence, ambition, these are all really important traits for survival. Children are a lot more likely to survive if one of their parents has these traits. And so, evolution piled it all into men. This is why women are attracted to men of leadership, men of success, because she recognizes at a core biological level that those traits are necessary for survival. In fact, she actively looks for that in men. And so, if she meets a man who has no independence, no leadership, and who defines himself primarily through his relationships to his girlfriends, she's not going to be attracted to that because she knows that this man lacks those essential traits necessary for survival. She's thinking, I'm going to be pregnant, I'm going to be raising children, I'm not going to have the time or energy to go out into the world and make our lives a success. I'm counting on you to do that. But a man who defines his...
Hold up, let's pause.
True to an extent.
Okay, so yeah, that's actually what it meant. So
I think it depends on the woman.
Okay. No, hold on. Let's. I don't think so, because at some point eventually you will get pregnant, right?
What about the women who don't want any children?
Oh, okay. So you want
to get into the thing where it's like you'll get to an age where you want kids. No, motherfucker. There are some women who just don't want kids. Sorry.
I wasn't going there. Okay. I was going to the point where that's like the minority of women. I mean, that's probably like
I don't know if I agree with that. I would say it's definitely less, but I don't think it's like.
Well, that's the
10,
definition
90. I think
of
it's like
minority, but yeah.
I think it's like close. I think it's like 60-40.
You hold on.
Women
No.
Yo,
You
we were talking about gender fluidity
You
and everything?
think that now in 2020, it's literally 40% of women do not ever want to have kids?
Yes.
Okay. You can't argue with what you think. I would want to look at the numbers. I would want to know the numbers, but I definitely don't think it's going to be 40%.
I mean, just based on the people I talk. Of course, some people's
that's literally
opinions
every
are
10
gonna
people.
change.
It's going to be 4 people that says
Right.
I never want to have kids.
Right, and that seems very realistic to me. Because I'll keep in mind, I'm a makeup artist. I used to be a makeup artist. I have talked to many women about very, very deep things such as childbirth and childbearing, and I would say 4 out of 10 women don't want kids. And yes, some of them are going to change, but I just think it's really disrespectful to the women because we have the ability to give birth for someone to say, oh, no, you're going to want kids. Just because we have the ability doesn't mean we're going to want to. I think it's just disrespectful. Like, you can't tell, like, let me make my own decisions. Let me think what I want. You don't know me. You don't know my life. And you don't know whether I like kids or not. I don't know. This thing really bothers me. Just like, some women don't want to have kids.
The pushback I would give is not that you have the ability, it's you literally have the urge to. So for instance, for guys, you have the urge to fuck as many women as possible. So you're probably going to try, you're probably going to at least touch on that urge a little bit. I'm not saying you're gonna balls deep, do that urge, but you're gonna explore that urge. You're gonna maybe look at that urge a little bit more than just, I don't want no kids, fuck kids, blah, blah, blah. No, that urge is gonna come around 30, about 31, 32. You're like, oh, your literal body is like, okay.
Telling you to do it. Yeah, because it's like, it's the prime time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know about all the other shit that you're talking about, but I'm saying, yes, women, if I was to do the numbers, I would say maybe 1 out of 10 would just not have kids ever.
That is wrong. But it's not wrong. It's just, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree. However, I have the urge to eat 7 cookie cakes all the time. And you know what's crazy about urges is like you can think them over in your brain and then you come to a conclusion, and usually sometimes it's not the conclusion that everyone thinks it is. So yes, many women who don't want kids are going to have the urge, but as rational thinking human beings are gonna sit back and they're gonna think about it. Because women are rational. Okay? And they're going to be like, wait a second. Yes, I have this urge, but I know it's my biology. It's my body. This is literally what I was made to do at this specific time. Is this what I want? And there are someone who are going to say no. 4 out of 10.
Okay. Period. Now, I agree with everything until you said 4 out of 10. Until you said 4 out of 10.
Period.
Because that's how I think you should look at life. A lot of times people don't think big decisions through. They just act on fucking decisions, and then their whole life changes, and they all fucked up now and struggling to get through life and shit like that. So I agree that women and men should look at big decisions like that.
Right.
But I don't agree that it's fucking 4 out of 10 women are never going to have kids. That's just, I would like to look at the numbers.
No, I didn't say that. I said 4 out of 10 women that I talk to right now out on the street, at this point in their life, they do not want children. And like I said, that could change, but some of them, it won't change. But as of right now, if we went out and interviewed 20 people, I really think that...
There might be a video. Yeah. But yeah, okay, let's get back on track.
His life, by his relationships with women, cannot do that because he's not the center of his own world. The woman he's in a relationship with, she's the center of gravity, and he just sort of orbits around her. She's the one who has this interesting and important life, and he pictures himself as a supporting actor, just helping her along her journey. Women hate that, and if a woman realizes that
the only way that is okay is if you're like a 60-year-old boss bitch, billionaire ass bitch, right? And you got like a little like 25-year-old guy. That's the only one.
Oh no. Okay. I still think
little boy toy.
A little boy toy.
Yeah.
I still think a woman is not going to respect him.
Oh, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Boy toys are not to be respected. They are to be had sex with and then
I guess that's
be
the point.
excused.
Okay,
that's what I'm
the
saying.
point.
Like
okay,
the little sugar baby boy.
Okay. Okay, the little bitch. Okay.
Little baby bitch.
the man
boy.
she's
Little
dating
baby
is
bitch.
asleep at the wheel and that nobody's actually steering their relationship, one of 3 different things is going to happen. 1, she's going to get really angry at this man for failing in his masculinity.
And she might not know it's at him. She might just be mad and she won't even know why. Misdirected.
Right. But this is my overall point about showing this message and learning Red Pill and understanding why are you feeling these types of ways and understanding how to navigate through them. Exactly.
That's amazing. I love it.
Instead of getting angry, she steps up and she plays the masculine role, but she loses all respect and affection for her partner. Or 3, she breaks up with him and she goes to find a man who is in touch with his masculinity. You can't really blame her because a man who's not self-defining, who's defining...
I take back what I said. 60-year-old billionaire woman, right? She's so used to dominating, like in the business world, in life,
yeah.
That more than anything, probably, I can't speak for all women, she probably wants to be dominated.
In bed.
Not necessarily in bed, but in relationship. Like, she wants to have somebody put her in her place in a consensual, respectful way. But seriously, like, I completely agree. Because some women who are out here and they have to go out and, like, face the world, they looking for a man, honey.
Okay,
king.
so question. So, I damn forgot my questions.
Sorry.
It's so funny. All right, so literally when... do you personally go out and look for a dominant feature guy, or is it just like a partner, boy toy-ish, equal terms-ish kind of thing?
For me, honestly, I
keep it a buck.
It's so difficult for me to even answer that question because my thing is I listen to my gut. If you looked at a pie chart of the guys that I've dated, there's no correlation between the way they look, the way they act. There's been a different dynamic in every single one. The only thing I care about is chemistry and sexual attraction and friendship, because in reality, friendship and a sexual relationship is an entire relationship. So I look for sexual attraction because if I'm not sexually attracted to you, I don't care how much you love me. I don't care how much I love you. I can't marry you because I can't have sex with you because you gross me out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So is it could be anything. It could be literally a less submissive man. It could be a very dominant man. It could be
all about the energy.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And if I feel that chemistry and I'm like, oh, mister, that little spark, I'm like, all right, let's go. If not, I'm like, get away. But
his life, primarily through his relationships with women, is failing as a man. It's harsh, but it's true. But what about those relationships where the man is in touch with his inner ambition? He is in touch with his masculinity. He's capable of being a leader and going out and doing what he wants and forging his own path. Well, in those kinds of relationships, the women in his life, they don't actually deviate his trajectory that much. They sort of play the supportive role. And that's actually what she wants. That makes her feel safe because she knows that she's chosen a truly masculine man. If there is one downside to dating a masculine man like that, it's that it brings with it this unique fear that women experience. And this is what's behind that strong desire that they have for commitment. I'll explain what I mean. Remember the Jenna Jameson quote when she said that women define their lives by the men that they are with. In practical terms, what this means is that a woman's identity changes a huge amount just based on the man that she's dating.
Period.
The man does not change himself for the woman.
We gotta stop it there. Do you agree with that statement? Because that's a very strong statement.
Yes.
Okay. We ain't gotta talk no more of this.
Wait, but it's like, it's a social thing, but also like, cause you know, like it's like in all the songs, I'm gonna fuck your bitch. You know, it's like your bitch. You see what I'm saying? Like your bitch, like your girl, like that's your girl. But it is really cute sometimes because I have dated, you know, professional athletes and like rappers and anyways, you know, cryptocurrency owners. Anyways, and it's like cute to be like the little girl and the supportive little girlfriend. Like it gets boring after a while because you're like,
so you're saying it's fun to be in their life,
supporting
in their lifestyle, and being in part of their lifestyle. But it gets to
a point, and I think this is where things go wrong. It gets to a point where sometimes the man thinks that he has like control over the woman, and it gets a little bit domineering or controlling, which is toxic. That's unhealthy.
Yeah, but that's not masculine. That's just a toxic ass.
Right, but you see what I'm saying? It can turn into, if the girl is always just there supporting and she never, you know, is masculine and stands up for herself, and he just gets
never sets boundaries.
Right, exactly. Boundaries. That was the perfect word.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Who he is. He knows where he's going. It's up to her to slot herself into his life. So if she's dating a cowboy, then she goes and buys boots and learns how to ride a horse. If she's dating a businessman, then she learns how to help organize his schedule or how to charm clients at a business dinner. If she's dating some new age hippie guy, then she learns how to grow organic vegetables.
And weed!
It can be a really bizarre experience for a guy if he is living with his girlfriend and he feels as though he knows who she is, what her identity is. But suddenly, out of the blue, they break up and she starts dating this other guy. And the new personality that she has, he doesn't recognize her at all.
And that is why.
Okay,
this is crazy, and this isn't necessarily true for everyone, but it's something I've noticed and I've talked about with my friends. Kissing, when it comes to a girl and a guy. The girl adapts to the man's kissing style always. Two women kissing is a very different thing than a man and a woman kissing. Not for anything like sexual orientation. It's just different because you adapt to how the man kisses. That is it. And it's not even something that like is like conscious. It just kind of happens.
Okay, now you're talking some real shit. Because I agree. Now that I'm thinking about all the kisses I've ever had in my entire life.
Have you ever experienced anyone that was like different or like had like a different style, like maybe different like small variations, but like
it's just small variation. No, I agree 100%. They adapt literally to your kissing.
That's literally exactly like I think that's like a perfect example for what he's talking about, because 100%. If y'all have seen like the Parks and Rec episode where what's her name, Anne, is like dating a different guy, and then she's dressed up as a cowboy, and then the next she's dressed up as a librarian or whatever. Absolutely true. You don't even mean to do it, and you don't even mean to do it.
Yeah, because he made another video and that's gonna probably be our last video that we're gonna watch. So I don't want to get into it, but he made another video that sums up what you are talking about right now.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
we'll talk about that.
But yeah, so far we agreeing with.
She seems like a completely different person, and he's wondering, what's going on here? Was any of that relationship real? Was she fake? Also
mirroring. It's a huge thing, and we don't even realize we're doing it. That's like the thing you learn. Like that's like one of the things to like make people more attracted to you. Like, you know, you touch your face and I touch my face, and like subconsciously that's like an attraction thing. Okay. So, and I think that happens on a larger scale with relationships.
Okay.
Interests and stuff.
I want to get to what he was just talking about though. Is it kind? No. Is it kind of? I want to use the word fake. But is it kind of weird how you do that? Like you feel like let's say me and you dating, and I feel like I know you. I feel like I get your vibe. I understand you. You say you'll never do certain things. Right. But then you date somebody else, and it's like you're a completely different person doing those things that you say you would never do. Right. Your morals are kind of different. Is that not like?
I see what you're saying. Okay, so it can be fake.
Okay.
Absolutely, there are some women out there who are just like playing the perfect role of what they think they want to see, and that's absolutely a real thing. However, I don't think it's fake. I think it's like in relationships, I think that like you're dating somebody, right? He opens you up to like maybe like kayaking or something, right? And so you really get into kayaking and you guys do it. It's like your thing together. You break up. You're not going to go do y'all's thing without him. You start dating another guy and he opens you up to more experiences. That's what I think it's all about, is not necessarily like mirroring. It's like, and maybe the woman has like a hobby or something that the guy's like, oh fuck, like this is cool as fuck. I think it's just a relationship, and I think it just happens more on the woman's side. So it's a little bit more prominent with women.
All right.
Was she faking it the whole time? As a man, it's difficult to understand just how malleable women can be, because they're not really being fake. It's just that their identity shifts so much based on the man that they're dating. It's an evolutionary adaptation that was positively selected
I can't believe I agree with that.
To be this flexible, and historically it served them very well. Us men, we have these sacred notions about who we are, this sort of treasured identity that we have. But women, they're less romantic than that. They're more practical. They'll actually try out new identities based on the men that they're seeing, the men that they're dating. It's like a tourist who travels the world and visits all these various destinations, and all the time he's thinking, I wonder which one of these places I could settle down in and I could make a permanent home. But do not make the mistake of thinking that just because a woman is adaptable in terms of what identity she adopts for each relationship, that in some way she's not as invested in the relationship as a man is. Nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, the fact that she adapted her personality specifically for this relationship just shows how committed she is, how inextricably entwined her personal sense of self is with that relationship. But this is one of the reasons why women are so keen to secure a man's commitment, because if she's going to sacrifice who she is...
Before he gets into this, another segment, do you agree that women are very keen on getting that commitment? Because the problem that I have with most relationship stuff is the need for title.
Yeah, and I think that is a societal thing, but I think as soon as you break out of that, it is fucking freeing. I don't give a fuck. Everybody is my boyfriend. If we have sex one time, if we kiss one time, you are my boyfriend for that fucking night. I'm not doing this. Oh, the guy that I talked to, the guy that I was kind of dating.
Okay.
No, that's all fucking bullshit. It's societal shit. Who fucking cares? If you're happy together, be happy together. That's
so
it.
You personally, do you look for a title?
No, I actually look to not have a title because I think it complicates things. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm just
so you don't think that's the majority? You think you're the minority when it comes to that?
I think I'm the minority, but also I think that for me personally, because this is hard for me to speak on, because I'm very not like other girls. I get the commitment. I'm like, okay, this guy's a challenge. I've been working on him for 3 months. I get the commitment. We're boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm like, oh fuck, that took all the fun out of it. I have nothing to work towards. This is boring. I'm on to the next.
Oh, interesting.
I'm also a Leo. I just get bored really easily. And if you're not shiny and new, it's all right, see you.
Okay. So you personally don't really look for a commitment, as well as if you get it, you're kind of bored.
I don't look for a commitment, but I'm super overprotective and jealous. But
we're getting off topic here. Let's get back.
Sorry.
So majority of women, do you think look for a commitment or look for titles?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a woman thing. I think it's a societal thing that has been put on women.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it is, but
I
you
agree.
can continue.
To be and become this new person for the relationship, she's thinking in the back of her mind, this better work out. This better be worth it. I've given up a lot to make this relationship work. There's a dark side to this. You see it quite often. It's really tragic. Women who invest their identity in a relationship to such a degree that even when that relationship becomes toxic and the man that they're with is abusive, they have difficulty leaving that dynamic because so much of their sense of self is wrapped up in that relationship.
Period, King. Thank you.
I don't know what I do with that.
It's so funny. At first, she was like, I hate this guy. I don't like him. But
well, now he's talking about some real shit now. So.
Okay, all right.
Who would I be without him? Perhaps not to the same degree or with as much frequency as happens with women, but men are absolutely capable of falling into this trap too. Men who invest too much of their personal identity in a relationship so that even after the woman becomes a toxic, abusive, entitled nightmare, he can't extricate himself because he can't imagine who he would be without that relationship. It's awful. It's absolutely horrible. And I want so badly to protect men and women from ever being in this situation. As a man, the best cure against that being you and from your life being a cautionary tale is to not start walking down that path in the first place. Do not invest your personal identity in a relationship. As a man, you should not be defining your life by your relationships with women. You're your own man. By all means, welcome women into your life. Establish long-term, healthy relationships, monogamous relationships. Have children, have grandchildren, do all of that stuff, but don't lose your personal identity. That way,
I agree with that.
If the relationship does turn toxic and it does turn abusive, and you know that the right thing to do for yourself and potentially for your children is to walk away, you have the inner reserves of strength to do that. You have another identity that you can fall back on, one that exists independently of the relationship. Relationships are wonderful.
Do you think women should adapt the same thing that he's saying of having that? Yeah, because I'm about to say, I think it doesn't go for just men and women. I think it goes for both. That you should inherently love yourself more than you love the relationship, period. Because at the end of the day, you will always be like, you know what, this relationship is not beneficial to me. It's actually hurting me physically, emotionally, whatever.
Right.
And you're willing to walk away.
That's why there's such an issue when two people who aren't like complete full people yet. I mean, like emotionally maturing, you know, just like going through experiencing life. Two halves make a whole, which means good luck, bitch, or king, because that's your fucking person forever. You a half and a half, like that sucks. But you have to be like a whole ass person. Yeah, but also, I just like, really, this is a little off topic, just quick. This guy, I didn't like him at first because I just was like, he's talking a lot about men, but it's like, we have to remember that more women have been killed by their husbands and boyfriends than American lives lost in 9/11, Iraq, and Afghanistan combined. You can look it up. It's a literal fact.
Okay.
And majority of them are not convicted, not tried. So.
Okay, pause. We can talk about this really quickly. No, really quickly. So, I think that happens because those men live in a scarcity mindset. They don't understand the abundance. They don't understand that they could have options. They don't understand. It's literally like, if she leaves me, I don't know who I am no more. I'm lost.
It's not like that. It's men thinking that women are, and this isn't even.
But that's my point. Yes. Yeah, so is that as well as a power dynamic of literally that's my property, but again, I'm losing my property. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna fucking blah blah blah. But if you was a man who had options and who had a lot of abundance around you, you wouldn't care if you lost a little bit of property. And that's what I'm saying.
But you still just refer to women as property.
No, I'm saying if even you think of women as property.
Okay.
So if you, for instance, only have 1 acre of property, you're gonna get very mad when someone tries to, when that 1 acre.
But you still understand that we're personifying women as acres.
I'm saying,
I just want you to understand what's happening.
I'm saying in his mindset, because you said that they think of people as property. So I'm giving you the analogy of what those men, you say, think about, of how to think about women.
That makes
sense.
sense.
Instance, if you had 1 acre of property and you get 1 acre taken, you are left with nothing, no acres. But if you have 1,000 acres, you 1 acre, you can be like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, whatever, yeah, that's whatever.
I just wanted to bring that up because that is like my issue with a lot of men speaking on like women and stuff. Like we just have to remember the abuse and like the generational. Like
no, I agree with that 100%. But again, I'm going to give an analogy from the point of view of the guy that's thinking of like you said, with property.
That makes sense.
Yes.
I really mean that. A healthy, functional relationship with a high-quality woman is amazing, but it can't be your whole world. If you're constantly
okay, all right. So,
King.
All right. King. Throughout this whole video, you was started off a little icy like the last one, but do you agree overall with what he was saying?
Yeah, I do actually, and I'm surprising because he said a lot of things that off the bat sound slightly like misogynistic, but in reality, when I'm thinking about it, my personal experience, and I like to be my own goddamn person. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, all right. So, It's your boy Don Jaye. We out. Peace.